Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to be looking at classwork 10-1, and it's multiplying fractions. So it's an introduction to multiplying fractions. And we're going to go through this a little bit at a time. Keep in mind that it's going to be a weird concept, but it's not going to be a hard concept if you really follow along. Tomorrow will be a little bit more difficult, so we really just need to pay attention now. We're going to use a bar diagram to really help us out today, and it'll just give you a visual sense, so you can see what we're doing and kind of why we're doing it. So here we go. If we look at that first example that says Layla threw 16 punches in the first inning of a softball game. So we know there were 16 pitches in that first inning. So that's where this 16 is coming from right here. That's our whole number. And now we're going to take that number and dissect it into pieces. So of the pitches she threw, 3/4 of them were strikes. How many strikes did she throw in the first inning? So we are finding 3/4 of 16. So again, here's that 16. It's represented by this line right here. And then because we're dealing in fourths, we know that that 16 needs to be broken up into 4 pieces because 4 is our denominator. So there's going to be 4 pieces. So here's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. Okay. So now looking at this, if we want to find 3/4 of 16, well, we know that 3/4 is here. So 3/4 would be represented by the bar diagram here. Now, if this one's worth 4, and this one's worth 4, and this one's worth 4, and this one's worth 4 because they're equal pieces, we have 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. So those 3/4 of the pitches, those strikes, she had 12 strikes total. And you can see that down here. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. Okay. Now, let's go to the next page where we're going to get a little more in depth. Okay. Well, and this helpful hint is really quite helpful because the word of means to multiply. So when it says find 1/3 of 15, it means we're going to take 1/3 times 15. So go up here. We're going to find 1/3 of 15 using a bar diagram. So same thing, we're going to be diagramming the whole thing today. This of is going to be replaced by a multiplication sign. So what's our whole number in this problem right here? And hopefully you're saying it's 15 because the other part is a fraction, right? So if this is 15, then we need to take that 15 and break it into equal pieces. And we know that equal pieces are going to be found in this denominator. So since there's a 3 here, we're going to break 15 into 3 equal pieces. Okay? So if you think about it, 15 divided by 3, even though I just said multiplication, bear with me, 15 divided by 3, well, that's 5. So that means that this is going to be worth 5, and this one's going to be worth 5, and this one's going to be another 5, right? So if we're looking for the value of 1/3 of 15, it's right here. It's 5. Okay? Now here's where it gets a little bit confusing because I used some division in there to help me solve a multiplication problem. And you're right, I did. So we're going to kind of take a look at the actual math of this, okay? If I have the same problem that I already had, and I had 1/3 times that original whole number, which remember I said was 15, I'm going to put the 15 up here. And I know that any whole number is really a whole number with 1 under the bottom of it. We've talked about that many times. Like, everything technically is a fraction, right? Because 15 divided by 1 is still 15. Okay, so now, if we look at this, I can go straight across. We're going to do multiplication straight across. And I can go 1 times 15 is what? It's 15. Keep losing my pens here for some reason. There it is. So 15. I don't think it likes to be this far over. Hold on 1 second. Technical difficulties. Let's try this again. Hold on. Let's actually move it down here and I'll just redo it. So if I have, one more time, if I have 1/3 times that original 15, remember that whole number, and remember I said that that whole number gets written over a 1. Okay, so there we go. We've got 1/3 times 15. I can, this is just one way to do this. There's a couple ways to do this, but this is an easy way for right now. I can multiply straight across. I can do 1 times 15 is 15. Okay, now I just multiply straight across the bottom. 3 times 1 is 3. So it is definitely a multiplication problem, isn't it? But now that's an improper fraction. So if you take the top divided by the bottom, 15 divided by 3, you're going to get 5. Now, let's travel back up here to where my diagram was. 1/3 of 15 was 5. We proved it visually. And now we're also proving it with the math, so you can see that too. Okay? So today we're going to be using these models as a way for you guys to see what you're doing. And then tomorrow we're really going to get into the meat of it. So you are drawing a bar diagram for each of these. And it might seem kind of tedious and silly, but it's going to help you. Now, since they already did number 3 and number 4, I'm going to go ahead and come down here to number 6 and just pick a random one, number 6. And we're going to go ahead and do this one together and see how you guys feel about it, okay? Again, if you don't feel like you need to see it visually, that's okay. Then maybe today is just an easy day for you. But most of you will appreciate being able to see it so you understand what we're doing. So I'm going to draw that bar diagram best that I can, considering that it's a computer pen. And this is my whole number. This is representing my whole number, which is 9. So I'm going to put a 9 right here. So there's 9 little pieces in here, but I don't want to cut them into ones, do I? No, I want to cut them into whatever my denominator is. So since that says 3, I'm going to break this 9 into 3 pieces. So do the very best you can. Like I said, it's not easy to get it perfect. And don't stress over, oh, I don't have the perfect boxes, because you need to be close enough, okay? It's not art class. So now you can see I have a set of 3 here, and a set of 3 here, and a set of 3 here, right? So I have 1/3, another third, and another third. So now if I take 9 times 1/3, how much is 1/3 worth? It's worth 3. And you guys, that's really all we're doing today. Okay? We're just taking these big whole numbers, breaking them into this many pieces, and then seeing how many of these it's worth. So if I break it into thirds, well, I only want 1/3, so that's going to be 3. Now let me pick one where it's a little different. Let's go ahead and do this number 10 down here. So my whole number is going to be 24. So I'm going to make a big line. Doesn't have to be too big, actually, but a big line, that's going to be worth 24. Again, I'm not separating it into ones because that would be silly. Since my denominator is 4, I'm separating it into how many pieces? I'm hoping you're saying 4. Okay, so there's a half, and here's my quarters. Again, are my lines perfect? No. Are they close enough? Absolutely. Okay, so I know that this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. But gosh, I have to think about if I have the number 24 and I'm going to divide it into 4s. I don't know how much each of those little pieces is going to be worth, so all I have to do is a division problem to get to that point. So 24 divided by 4, hey, 4 times 6 is 24, so that means this one's worth 6, this is worth 6, this is worth 6, and this is worth 6. Okay, and if I check my work, 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 6 is 24, right? Now that I know what each of my 4s are worth, I know that I'm going to need 3 of these 4s. So here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. So if this is worth 6, this is worth 6, this is worth 6, what is 6 times 3? It's 18. And that's your answer. Okay? Good luck on this today. Check in with your teacher and let them know if you need help. We'll also connect another video on here that'll help you in case you need that too, okay? But really, you just take it piece by piece by piece. And remember, you're drawing a model and then you're giving us the answer, okay? All right, good luck. Bye.